Hi there, it's time to get up to scratch. Today we're going to examine some basic features of Scratch, namely sprites, backdrops, and how the blocks fit together and how you can pull them apart. The first thing we should know about Scratch is that it is based on sprites. So sprites are characters that go into this area that is called the stage. When you open Scratch up, you will have this cat sprite, which is called Sprite 1, but you can change the name, and I'm going to change that to cat. Now, if you examine this page a little bit more, you'll notice up here you have code, costumes, and sounds. If we click on costumes, we can see that this cat actually has two different costumes. And that's going to allow us to actually make it look like the cat is moving. We will discuss how to change those costumes a little bit more in the looks blocks. Note that you can modify these by, if I, for example, wanted to put, say, a circle on there, then that shows up. I'm going to undo that option, but note as well that each costume has its own name. It might be easier to keep them at costume 1, costume 2, and so on. There are also sounds associated with each sprite. Some of them will come built in. So for example, this meow. But you can add sounds from a variety of different sources. So if you hover over this button and then choose a sound, you'll see all the different sounds you can pick. And again, we'll talk about those when we talk about the sound blocks a little bit more. You can also record a sound. You can have ones loaded in for you, so surprised, and then you can upload any sounds that you have created, which could be useful. To get a new sprite is very similar to those sound ideas. You hover over this circle with the cat and the plus, and you can either choose a sprite. So there's all sorts of options there. I'm going to add an apple. It'll take just a few seconds to load. And so you'll see too now that I've added the apple in this area, it has changed. So if I want to code the apple, I can drag some code into there. I'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. Or if I wanted to code the cat, you could do that as well. Another way to add a sprite is to paint one. So I'll use my purple circle as well. Now it's probably important that you have your sprite centered around that kind of little target area. So if it's not there, you can use the arrow and you'll notice that it kind of locks in right there. And the same thing, I can move that around and wherever I want it to go. You also have the option for the program to surprise you or to upload a sprite. Now remember, if you are uploading, it's really important to find one with a transparent background. Often if you're searching on the internet, .png, or just type in transparent background after whatever you're looking for. And now you can see that I can put code into this kind of coding area for any of the three different sprites. If I want to get rid of a sprite, I can just click on the trash can with the X there. Another customizable feature of Scratch is the backdrops. Now, when you open Scratch, it will have a blank backdrop on the stage, and you can actually add more backdrops in. So if I go to choose a backdrop, it will show you all the options that you've got. You can scroll down, but I'm just going to pick the blue sky there. Now, an interesting thing is we talked about the costumes before with the sprites. We've actually got, if we click on the stage, we've got the backdrop one, so that was the blank one, and we've got the blue sky. Now, when we go to the looks blocks and talk about those, you'll learn about how you can change those. Another way to add a backdrop is to paint that in. This may not be the easiest thing to do. This isn't the best paint application that you've got, so keep that in mind. I'm actually going to delete that backdrop by clicking the trash can over there. But I can also upload or have the program surprise me with a different backdrop. The last bit that we're going to discuss in this video is how these blocks go together. Now, as I'll teach you in the event block video, is that every bit of code has to start with an event block. It is basically how the program knows when to run the code. So if this event happens, so when the green flag is clicked up here, a bunch of stuff will happen. Now I connect things by dragging them in, and you'll see they snap in like that. And I can snap in a bunch of different things. Now you'll notice some of them do not actually have the ability to snap into anything. For example, these ones are all rounded. They don't have this little bit on the bottom. These rounded ones actually can go into the rounded areas, and even some of them you'll see in these blocks. They've got the kind of diamond shaped things, and some of those blocks will go into there. So they can snap in and out like that. Now, if I want to get rid of this purple one, I can't just pull that purple one off. It's going to pull everything below it. So what I can either do is pull blocks below it off, take the purple one out, and put the blocks below back. And if I just drag over to this side and I let go, the block will be deleted. Not forever, because you can pull it back in again, but if you had any other information inside of there, it probably isn't what you want to do. So make sure that you are careful when dragging things towards that end. Some of these blocks you'll also notice they can go be kind of nested inside of each other. We'll talk about a little bit more how that works when we get to the control blocks. But hopefully this overview kind of has taught you how this program works and how you can manipulate a few of the basic things. Now it's time for you to go and look at some of our other videos. We're going to start with the event blocks, so you know how to start different programs, and then we'll look at the motion, looks, and sound blocks. And moving on from that, we'll go to the control and sensing, and then finally to the operators and the variables, which will make your programs absolutely amazing and incredible. Hope you've had a good time listening and following along with us. Happy programming! Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.